Hi everyone, you're watching the Showsha Podcast. My name is Shweta and I have with me team Showsha joining in Amit Sharma and Abhijeet Bhatt. So we're here to review Sir, which has been directed by Rohin Agera and stars Vivek Gomber and Tillotama Shome.
ये शहर है, गांव नहीं है। यहाँ ना अपनी जिंदगी खुद बनाते हैं।
लक्ष्मण
जी सर।
खाना लगा दो प्लीज।
जी।
It's basically about this guy who comes from a really well-to-do family and he's basically back from America. He has quit his job there and he's come back to India to sort of take over his dad's business and basically help him with it. And gradually, during the course of everything, he falls in love with his domestic help, Ratna, who wants to be a fashion designer and is a widow. And how things work around the premise that is for us to see in Sir. But let me go to Abhijeet first and Abhijeet, what are your first thoughts about this film?
सर एक ऐसी फिल्म है जो मुझे लगा था कि मेरे सर के ऊपर से जाएगी, पर ऐसा नहीं हुआ. सर turned out to be a pretty decent film. It turned out to be a pretty good film. इसका premise ऐसा है कि आपको थोड़ा सा unbelievable लग सकता है, पर thanks to the nice story and the nice acting and the nice setting, you somehow buy the premise of the film कि हाँ ऐसा हो सकता है, rather than saying कि ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं हो सकता है. So in that way the film was.
Okay, Amit, what about you? What are your first thoughts after watching the film?
यार मुझे तो बहुत सही लगी मूवी. मेरे ख्याल से काफी टाइम से मैं सोच रहा था कि बॉलीवुड में या हिंदी मूवी जो बनाते हैं उसमें कोई अच्छी लव स्टोरी क्यों नहीं आती है ना. तो आई थिंक दिस मूवी इज अ ग्रेट एग्जांपल ऑफ स्टोरी इज ऑलवेज द किंग. मूवी मेरे ख्याल से 3 लोकेशंस में शूट हुई है ज्यादा से ज्यादा. एक घर पे, एक ऑफिस स्पेस में और एक जहाँ पे रत्ना बेसिकली मिलने जाती है बाहर यहाँ कहीं पे. और इतने बजट में उन्होंने इतनी अच्छी स्टोरी मतलब हमें दिखाई है. इट्स अमेजिंग. एंड परफॉर्मेंस के बारे में बात करेंगे, स्पेशली द लीड तिलोत्तमा शोम. आई थिंक शी हैज डन रियली नाइस वर्क. Last time I noticed her in some movie, I think that was Monsoon Wedding. But in this movie, I think she has outshined everyone.
You know, surprisingly, I actually noticed her the last time. I think it was in Angrezi medium, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I watched the film, and I don't remember it that clearly now. But I was just reading about this, and then it struck to me that she was in Angrezi medium as well. So she has done.
She was in Hindi medium also. Hindi medium too.
Wow.
That is what Angrezi medium is, my friend. Hindi medium too is Angrezi medium.
I think Abhijeet.
हाँ मतलब वो दोनों फिल्मों में थी.
What about English?
अच्छा, oh, I thought Angrezi medium, Hindi medium too. But yeah, she has been in these in a couple of films, and she's done pretty well. But surprisingly, I think she's one of those actors who is very underrated because she's an amazing performer. यार, I mean, मेरे को तो बहुत 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 अच्छा लगा उनका performance. I already told you a little about, what the plot is all about. This guy who's from a well-to-do family, he basically falls in love with his domestic help. What do you want to, tell us about the plot and, what did you think of it?
I think the plot of the movie was well paced according to the requirement of the story. So we get to know about Ratna when she's coming from village to the employer's house, which she mentions him as Sir, as the title of the movie. And then, they spend a lot of breakfasts and dinner confrontation where they learn about each other. So Ratna learns why the marriage was called off. And Ashwin learns, a lot about Ratna, that she's a widow and, she's taking care of her younger sister. So I think the layers about each other, they are not opened in like one go. The plot takes its time. Although they are spending a lot of time in this one apartment, still there are so many things that they don't know about each other. And as soon as Ashwin starts knowing Ratna more, the movie picks up the pace, and then we go into other things like how society sees a relationship about two people. Like they have to be from the same class, so they have to be from the same economic background, and same caste in some regions. So the plot reveals itself really nicely, so I really liked about it.
Abhijeet, आपके क्या valuable inputs हैं about the plot?
I think there were some certain flaws in the plot. मुझे लगा like literally 7 minutes into the film, there's a scene where Tillotama's character brings breakfast for the guy. Okay, and breakfast में क्या होता है? There is toast, there's मौसमी का juice and चाय. जूस के साथ चाय कौन पीता है बे?
मैंने भी सोचा था यार, ये मैंने सेम दिमाग में दी कैसे?
Yeah, I would have fired her then and there. How can you fall in love with someone who's so incompetent? But they say कि प्यार अंधा होता है, लेकिन भाई इतना भी कैसे कि मतलब जूस से चाय दे रही, देखो तू पी रहा, तेरे को प्यार भी
ऑप्शन दे दिया उसने कि या तो चाय पी ले या जूस पी ले।
उसको पसंद हो जूस और चाय साथ में से पीना, मिक्स करके, that's his thing bro, you can't judge him अभी।
It upsets your stomach, but anyway, to each their own. But तो प्लॉट के हिसाब से अगर कोई मुझे थियोरेटिकली बताता, फॉर एग्जांपल अगर तुम लोग मुझे बताते कि भाई ऐसी फिल्म है जिसमें एक आदमी होता है बहुत अफ्लुएंट फैमिली का, एंड ही फॉल्स इन लव विद हिज हाउस हेल्प, and I would have been like, I don't buy this. But when I looked at this film somehow manages to convince me कि हाँ maybe ऐसा हो सकता है। So in that scene, I think the plot works for me. It's just that I would have liked some more hurdles. मतलब थोड़े से और बीच में इनके ना थोड़े से तनाव भरे क्षण होते हैं ना, चीजें बहुत इजीली हो गई। हाँ, ये कुछ ज्यादा ही इजी हो गया कि हाँ सर मैं टेलरिंग सीखना चाहती हूँ, हाँ सीख लो, सर मुझे छुट्टी चाहिए, हाँ ले लो। आपकी मम्मी को भी प्रॉब्लम थी, मम्मी को भी कुछ खास प्रॉब्लम नहीं थी, घर वालों को भी कुछ खास प्रॉब्लम नहीं थी। तो ये क्या था, मतलब शादी.com का बड़ा ऐड लगा मुझे कहीं कि हाँ ठीक है भाई सबके लिए जोड़ियां मिल।
But हमने प्लॉट के बारे में बात किया, and that also sort of we also spoke about the performances, how these guys have performed in the film. Ratna ka character, of course, Tillotama is playing that, and I really liked it, like how we just spoke about that in the beginning. Also, apart from that, there's Vivek Gomber who's playing Ashwin, जो कि sir का character निभा रहे हैं. There's Gitanjali Kulkarni in a very important role as well, who's basically playing who's playing another house help, and उसका interaction काफी दिखाया है with with Tillotama's character, with Ratna. Surprisingly, Gitanjali was also there in this very nice show called Taj Mahal 1989, which is on Netflix, which I think I like the first time I watched that show very randomly. I really enjoyed that show, and I think वहाँ से I started noticing Gitanjali Kulkarni for the amazing actor that she is, and even in this particular film, that's how I sort of connected that. But talking about the performances, what do you guys have to say about it? Abhijeet, what's your take on the performances by everyone in the film?
I think Tillotama, of course, is the star of the film. मतलब मैं ना I don't want to how do I put it? I don't want to undercredit her performance and prowess as an actress by calling her the Nawazuddin of female actresses. But somehow मुझे उससे वही नवाजुद्दीन वाली vibe आती है, this underdog of an actor जो कि अपनी मेहनत से अपने she just shines through in even like a 5-minute का scene. She's individually also very capable, so I don't want to draw comparisons with that. But इस film में उनकी body language as a, now here's the thing, it's very easy to play a meek house help. It's very easy to play a very a house help जो कि बहुत brash है, जो कि बड़ी arrogant है, मैं नहीं आएगी साहब, मैं नहीं करेगी, the stereotypical maid. But the difference in Tillotama's character here is कि she's meek because of her circumstances, but उसके ambition बहुत fiery है. तो वो पर्सनैलिटी ना, वो डुअलिटी ऑफ पर्सनैलिटी, जहाँ पे एक जगह पे वो बोलती है अपने सर को कि सर मैं फैशन डिजाइनर बनना चाहती हूँ, और वो एक सेकंड के लिए बोलता है कि अच्छा फैशन डिजाइनर, वो बोलती क्यों बन नहीं सकती क्या, so without sounding very arrogant, she manages to bring into her character a sense of ambition कि मतलब there's fire in her eyes, so वो portray करना. And of course the body language, that एक पूरा body language include करना जिसमें she is always in a hurry, she's always multitasking, she's always very disciplined, but also doesn't compromise on her self respect. मतलब पूरा एक balance बना के चलना ना, तो वो बहुत अच्छे से करा उन्होंने. The male lead का मुझे थोड़ा सा कहीं पे लगा कि he didn't seem as earnest as his intentions were. मतलब मैं जानता हूँ कि हाँ भाई तू हेल्प करना चाह रहा है, पर कहीं पे मुझे इतना वो लगा नहीं कि हाँ इतने intentionally या इतने.
It didn't seem genuine, is it?
It didn't seem genuine, yeah. I think genuine is the word. It didn't seem कि हाँ भाई तू you're actually going out of your way. जैसे वो मैगजीन, उसको मैगजीन भी देता है कि हाँ ये लो मैगजीन, ये सारे डिजाइनर ये पढ़ते हैं, तुम्हें छुट्टी चाहिए, हाँ तुम छुट्टी ले लो. मतलब भाई थोड़ा ला इमोशन ला भाई, तू हेल्प करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, तू किसी की जिंदगी बदल रहा है, थोड़ा सा दिखा।
I think
हाँ.
वो चीज the person who has played this character, I think his name is
Vivek.
Vivek Gomber. I think
Yeah.
his style of acting is very Western. It's not Indian or it's
Probably.
not Hindi cinema, you know, where we are very outburst and we are very
The masala wala
we
acting.
are expressive. We are, because an Indian made character is also expressive, you know, that's why we don't find flaws in her performance. But I would like to draw an example of Harshvardhan Kapoor. I think Harshvardhan Kapoor's style of acting is also very Western, where he doesn't move a lot
Westernized.
and he's like always, you know, calm, and you know, he's just meek and sitting and saying his lines very, very slowly. So I think it's a way of acting. I think there was a reason why he was casted for the movie, so that Ratna's character can shine more. Because if we would have given a male lead which is equally good as Ratna's character, I think then there would be a conflict between
Could be.
those two.
Foreshadow हो सकता था.
Yeah, so I think to get Ratna's character on a pedestal, I think they chose an actor which, you know, has that kind of vibe where he's not expressive but still he cares. So maybe, but
Could be.
even I think like in some scenes he was, you know, not being natural. He was very robotic, I would say. But I think it was like one or two scenes. But throughout the movie, I think they both did a pretty good job.
But you know, what do you guys think about the, जैसे अभी हमने plot के बारे में बात की, what do you guys think कि was this particular story and was this particular film sort of able to bridge this social economic gap that we see? I mean, it's still there, right? I mean, it is existing. जैसे अभिजीत ने कहा कि if I would just tell him कि ऐसी एक कहानी है, he would probably not buy it. And I don't think most of the people would, because it seems very unreal, falling in love with your mate. But what do you think of the plot? Do you think that in any case, you know, cinema does have a lot of power in these things? Do you think कि इस story, इस particular film के जरिए ऐसी चीजों को कुछ, you know, we can bridge all of these gaps that there are? Or do you think it's just a film and it's just merely for entertainment? Amit?
No, I think watching movies always, you know, initiate dialogue between people. If you and me have watched a movie, we will definitely talk about it. So I think making movies and you know, making movies on different aspect of life or different subjects it is important. Talking about the social commentary about this movie, I think this movie comments about, you know, the economic background of people, and I think identity crisis also, because Ratna's character has never been worked anywhere else. जब रत्ना पहली बार आती है मुंबई, तो उसका पहला जॉब अश्विन के घर पे ही होता है. बट जैसे ही उसको एक जॉब मिल जाती है और जब वो रियलाइज करती है कि मैं अब इंडिपेंडेंट हूँ, अब मेरे को किसी के ऑर्डर्स फॉलो नहीं करना है, या फिर मुझे अब जो काम पसंद है मैं वो कर रही हूँ, तो पूरी मूवी में वो अश्विन को सर कह के मेंशन करती है. बट लास्ट सीन में दिखाया है कि व्हेन अश्विन कॉल्स रत्ना, वो पहली बार अश्विन का नाम लेती है जब वो उसके अंडर काम नहीं कर रही है या फिर उसके घर पे नहीं रह रही है.
She's an independent.
Yeah. So I think Ratna's character finds its identity throughout the movie, and that's the movie about, like giving people, you know, hope. And you know, as Ashwin says in character as Ashwin says in one scene that सपने देखने का हक सबको है और तुम भी अपने सपने पूरे कर सकती हो. तो as you know, the dialogue sounds preachy in those scenes, but when we see that, you know, where the movie is going, I think it makes sense. So social commentary is there, but I think the love story was bigger than the whole social commentary point of the movie.
Okay, Abhijeet, do you think it has in any way sort of bridged any gaps? And would you buy into, you know, watching the film after, or like recommending it to people, you know, now that you have seen the film, as far as you know, the social economic gaps? Yeah.
See, ये फिल्म क्या करती है ना, ये फिल्म more than bridging the gap, this film inspires us to bridge the gap. तो ये फिल्म मैं नहीं कहूँगा कि ये बिल्कुल ही अचानक से इसने पूरा like you know सोसाइटी का डीएनए चेंज कर दिया अचानक से. कल को लोग बोलेंगे कि नहीं ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता, बिल्कुल नहीं होता, पर एटलीस्ट इसने एक अटेम्प्ट तो किया है कि उस तरफ लोग सोचें कि हाँ ये एक पॉसिबिलिटी है. maybe if not option A, B or C, just thinking about this can be an option D or E or F. But this too can be an option, ये भी एक तरीका हो सकता है. So मुझे उस sense में the film works. I would yes, of course I would recommend it to people, and to people जो सोचते हैं कि अमीर गरीबी का जो भेदभाव है वो बस एक पर्टिकुलर सोसाइटी के स्टार्टअप को सिग्निफाई करके ही बनाया जा सकता है. जैसे लाइक ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि समवन हु वर्क्स फॉर यू कैन फॉल इन लव विद देम, या फिर डायनामिक्स ऐसे नहीं बन सकते हैं. तो वो एक थॉट प्रोसेस को चेंज करने का आई थिंक द फिल्म एटलीस्ट इनिशिएट्स अ कन्वर्सेशन. Initiating a conversation is what I would say this film does.
Yeah. Okay. What do we think, according to us, is there that works for the film? I actually want to start here. जैसे हम अभी ये social economic gap के बारे में all that we've been discussing, I really like one thing here, which is how the film shows things not just from the guy's perspective, because we all have been discussing कि क्या क्या दिक्कतें हो सकती हैं उन दोनों को ही if they get into this relationship. इसको इस तरह से भी दिखाया जा सकता था सिर्फ कि when the guy is saying, जैसे कि उसके फ्रेंड्स बोलते हैं कि what उसका फ्रेंड बोलता है कि your mom will not even sit on the same table as her, and all of these things. And then I like how it is not just shown from his perspective, but also the difficulties and the hardships that Ratna will also have to face. जैसे वो बताती है कि मतलब अश्विन के लिए it's very normal for him to just take her out on dinner, कि तुम मेरे साथ बाहर चलो. And she is very, she's not sure. She's sort of like कि क्या बोलेंगे लोग, हंसेंगे नहीं हंसेंगे, जो भी है. And then she also talks about कि उसकी family किस तरह से इस चीज पर react कर सकती है. So I think I really like that कि उसको सिर्फ एक perspective से नहीं दिखा करके दोनों चीजों से दिखाया गया है. And I think that for that at least the credit goes to the director also as well.
इस फिल्म को अगर आप पॉज करके देखें फ्रेम बाय फ्रेम, आपको हर फ्रेम में पर्पल कलर दिखाई देगा. ठीक है, there will be one thing purple in every single frame of the film. You can pause it even if there are no humans on screen. अगर ट्रेन जा रही है तो पर्पल फूल है, अगर कोई बात करने तो किसी ने पर्पल पहना हुआ है. तो पर्पल, I don't know why, but it plays a very significant role in this entire film. Purple is generally associated with royalty and I don't know, royalty and wealth. So maybe the director wanted to draw some parallels, but जाने अनजाने ये एलिमेंट पर्पल का इसमें आ गया है. दूसरी चीज जो मेरे लिए काम करती है वो है इस फिल्म की सिनेमेटोग्राफी. मतलब मुंबई जैसे शहर जो इतना क्लटर्ड है, वहां पे एक कंट्रोल्ड कियोस दिखाना इज अ टास्क. तो वो बहुत अच्छे से, मतलब एक शॉट इस फिल्म में ऐसा था जिसमें तिलोत्तमा का कैरेक्टर जो है वो छत पे बैठ के एकदम टॉप बिल्डिंग में अपनी फ्रेंड, वो तो ताई जो कैरेक्टर है, उनके साथ चाय पी रही है. और वो शॉट जब आप देखेंगे तो बहुत ही नीट लगता है. सो if I were to sum up the look of this film in one word, it would be neat. बहुत crisp है ये film, and सबसे बड़ी चीज जो वर्क करती है इस फिल्म का वो ये मैसेज कि सिगरेट स्मोकिंग इज वेरी इंजूरियस टू हेल्थ. क्योंकि एक सीन में क्या होता है कि जो लड़का होता है अश्विन, वो बाहर जाता है और वो गले से सिगरेट लेता है, उसके बाद वो वहीं बैठ के उसको जलाने की कोशिश करता है, लेकिन 3 अटेम्प्ट के बाद भी वो माचिस से सिगरेट हवा चलती है और वो सिगरेट नहीं जला पाता है. सो गाइस, मोर देन द सोशियोइकोनॉमिक ब्रिज, आई थिंक व्हाट द डायरेक्टर रियली वांट्स टू कन्वे इज सोशियोइकोनॉमिक तो होता रहेगा ब्रिज, पर पहले अपनी सेहत संभालिए. कोरोना का समय है और पोल्यूशन भी बहुत ज्यादा है, सो स्मोकिंग इज वेरी इंजूरियस टू हेल्थ. सो आई थिंक दैट मैसेज रियली वर्क्स.
ये जनहित में जारी करने के लिए शुक्रिया. But moving on to Amit now. Amit, what do you think works for the film according to you?
I think the simple storytelling worked the best. So I think, as you said, credit should be given where the credit is due. So Rohina Gera, she's the writer and the director of the movie. So when I was checking on IMDb, I think she has also written the pilot episode of Jassi Jassi Koi Nahi, which was a very popular show in early 2000 on Sony Television.
Yeah.
I think that show also follows similar plot, if you would
similar pattern, yeah.
But I think this movie, Rohina Gera she has made this movie more about these two people instead of the conflict that they are facing. So I think at the end, this movie is a very nice love story if you look at it. Whether they, be together in the end or not, or why they can't be together, the things are there, like you can talk about them. But as a whole love story, I think it's very new. The plot of the movie could have been very lame or very boring, but I never got bored in a movie which happens in like one house. So there are two people in one house and we are watching a 99-minute movie about them.
Is there anything that you thought that could have been better or you did not like about it? Abhijeet, do you want to start?
मुझे ना एक आध जगह पे ना स्लो मोशन समझ भी नहीं आया इस फिल्म के. दो जगह पे बता सकता हूँ, मुझे स्लो मोशन समझ भी नहीं आया. स्लो मोशन हुआ क्यों यहाँ पर? पहला सीन था जहाँ पे तिलोत्तमा का कैरेक्टर जो है ना, वो गांव छोड़ के जा रही है, उसकी माँ आती है और उसकी माँ ना उसके गाल पे से हाथ फेरती है और हाथ फेरने के बाद वो स्लो मोशन हो जाती है और मुझे समझ में नहीं आया कि इसमें ये स्लो मोशन हो क्यों गई. और दूसरा सीन तब होता है जब उसका जो बंदा होता है, उसका ड्राइवर आता है इसके पास और बोलता है कि तूने सुना शादी टूट गई, और ये जो कैरेक्टर बोलती है कि तू उसको बोल अपना काम करे, और उसका वो ड्राइवर भी स्लो मोशन में आता है. तो मुझे वो समझ में नहीं आया कि ये दोनों स्लो मोशन क्यों हो रहे हैं अभी, और वो 2 ही बार बस स्लो मोशन का सीन है और कोई कहीं जगह स्लो मोशन नहीं होता है. तो मुझे ये थोड़ा जारिंग लगा, मुझे पता नहीं क्यों ऐसा लगा. दूसरी चीज that didn't work for me was the lack of hurdles. इतना बड़ा इशू है, इतना बड़ा एक सोशियो गैप आप दिखाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. ये चीजें बहुत इजीली हो गई, बहुत ही ज्यादा. I wish, so that's why it remains a fairy tale for me at times. कि मतलब अच्छी बात है, कॉन्वर्सेशन इनिशिएट करने के लिए चीज अच्छी है, पर यार थोड़ा सा हर्डल और दिखाने थे ना कि मतलब उसकी माँ.
I think it does have that too good to be true wala element which exactly. You feel at times, right?
Yeah. I understand कि it's a movie जो कि आप मतलब weekend night पे आप feel good होने के लिए बाहर ठंड का मौसम में आप रजाई में बैठे हैं, you just watching it अच्छा फीलिंग देने के लिए, that's all good, but ये छोटे बच्चों को दिखानी चाहिए इस फिल्म की. ऐसी चीजें नहीं होती लाइफ में, life is never this fair. It will train them for life. But so वो मुझे थोड़ा सा लगा कि lack of
hurdles and hardships.
I think the biggest hurdle was of them getting together. That was the only hurdle of the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
बाकी जो भी hurdle थे कि जैसे टेलर मास्टर ने सिखाया नहीं टेलरिंग, या फिर मतलब दूसरी ताई बोलती है कि तुम अपनी बहन की पढ़ाई मत रोको, पर उसकी बहन की पढ़ाई रुक जाती है और उसकी शादी हो जाती है. So I think hurdles were very small, as you said, but the biggest hurdle was कि whether they would be able to be together or not. I was watching Rohina Guerra's interview. I think she moved to United States for studying. Before that, she also has these questions in her mind. Why there is a separate mug for the housemaid? Like why the housemaid needs a steel glass, whether we are drinking in teacups or something like that, or why they have to sit on the floor to eat. In Ashwin's apartment, I could not believe that Ratna's tiny closet was in this lavish apartment of Ashwin. I mean, if there was no shot tracking from Ashwin's bedroom to Ratna's bedroom, I would have never compared the two of them. So I think there was many things. In the end, I think it's more about a love story, which we never which we can only hope whether they are together or not.
But how you guys are mentioning about the hurdles and the hardships, and how Amit said, I think the biggest hurdle was whether they would get together or not. I think that is where Abhijeet's point sort of makes more sense to me, because from the society's point of view and for the general perspective, that is not really a very big hurdle. I think the big hurdle actually is whether the society, whether everybody will be accepting them. Now, there is another way to look at it, is that they don't really care. But I think for the people who are watching it, and because it has been so ingrained in our heads, being in India especially, this is something that we've seen, happening. And this is how the housemaids and the domestic helps are treated. So I think ये story में the hurdle, I again agree with Abhijeet की hurdles थोड़े और from the societal pressure or maybe the family's perspective, अगर थोड़ा वो भी दिखाया जाता है कि कुछ वो सब दिक्कतें भी हो रही हैं, I think it might have made a little more sense for me also. What would be your last thoughts on the film? लोगों को recommend करेंगे, नहीं करेंगे, क्यों देखनी चाहिए? All of those things.
I would recommend it to people जिनको मुझे पता है कि उनका thought process थोड़ा सा rigid है. So even though this film might not change their outlook, it might उनका एक सेकंड के लिए attention ले सकती है and उनको सोचने के लिए मजबूर कर सकती है. Yeah, एक second के लिए भी सही.
And right now it is in theaters, so this is a film that people could definitely watch. I honestly did not find it slow paced. I did not find all these jokes or whatever. I was somehow just drawn into their world, and I enjoyed every bit of it. मैं बहुत कम ऐसे films और shows के वक्त होता है when I'm just completely invested in the plot. And I think the film, at least for me, in this film, my last thought was that यार ये कितनी प्यारी film है.
I guess also the last thought about the movie would be that, as Abhijeet said, it's not a very big social commentary. It's just a small love story, and it will make you feel good and ask some questions from yourself. So I think it's a well-made movie with an amazing cast, and people who can go to theaters and watch it, they should go to theater. But as we are living in a pandemic right now, I think people should take precautions, and if they want to watch a movie, there's a very good movie available in theaters right now.
अगर आप बीमार हैं, अगर आप sick हैं, तो ये movie जरूर देखें, because you have to be very patient to watch this film.
फिर तो नहीं देखने जाना, क्योंकि अगर आप बीमार हैं और आप sick हैं और आप जा रहे हैं, तो आप कोरोना फैला रहे हैं बाहर जाके. फिर आप मत
That is true. I immediately take my word back with immediate effect.
I think we had a fun time discussing, sir, since we all, discussed all the elements, all the factors, everything that we could. If you've seen the film and, you want to share your inputs with us, please do, leave it in the comment section. And what do you think of this particular review? Do let us know. And do like, comment, and share this review. Also subscribe to Showsha. And if there's any other review that you'd want us to cover, we would love to do it for you.